A very good evening to you all and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 28th day of October 2025. First though, let's have a look at what's making headlines at this hour. President Museveni assures victims of cattle rustling from Pokot of Amudat district of compensation. Prime Minister Nabanja resolves standoff between landlords and tenants in Central Business District. President William Museveni appoints Assistant DPP Lino Anguzu new Director of Public Prosecutions. And Tanzanians go for polls tomorrow, Wednesday, October 29th. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here at Nile Avenue. On sign language it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. We begin in Amudat, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has assured the Pokot people of Amudat district that victims of cattle rustling by the Turkana from Kenya will receive compensation after the elections. Speaking during his campaign in Amudat, Mr. Museveni said he had reached an agreement with Kenyan President William Ruto, holding the Kenyan government responsible for reimbursing the affected Pokot families.
On Tuesday, the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni presented his manifesto to the residents of Pokot at the Kalas Girls Primary School playground in Amudat district, the Karamoja sub-region.
NRM, oye! Thank you so much. Thank you for receiving the President and all the NRM members here in these great numbers. Thank you for proudly voting NRM 100%. And we celebrate Amudat in particular and Karamoja in general for that vote. Therefore, I trust that even this time we will make sure that Amudat will vote 100% for the President.
During his campaign, President Yoweri Museveni assured the people of Amudat who had suffered cattle losses to the Turkanas from Kenya that they would receive compensation. He disclosed that he had negotiated an agreement with the Kenyan President William Ruto to secure the necessary funds.
Because you know, the Banyankole believe a little bit in the law of Moses. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If you kill a member of our clan, we must also pay revenge. If you don't want revenge, you come and we have peace. We call it Okaraba, to have a blood settlement. So the Kenyan government will pay for the families who I will perform a ceremony in Moroto here with Mr. Ruto after the election. We don't have time now, but we'll come and perform a ceremony. So therefore, I could not accept this impunity of criminality.
Given that Amudat is a semi-arid district reliant on cattle rearing, President Museveni also committed to constructing water dams for the animals.
We are working out a plan for water for the rural areas. Apart from the dams and the valley dams, you can see these activities like the other boy of the goats and sheep and the one of the pigs. They need water at each home. The other communal watering is no longer no longer will not address their problem.
He encouraged the people of Amudat to capitalize on the existing peace in the region by engaging in income-generating activities to alleviate poverty. Additional promises included the upgrading and equipping of health facilities, the provision of free education, the construction of more schools, and the maintenance of peace and stability. Local leaders in Amudat expressed their appreciation to the president for facilitating the resettlement of the Pokot community back into Uganda, who had run to Kenya during the cattle rustling.
Say has brought us from afar. The party or the government of Uganda has relocated Pokots who had gone to settle in Kenya because of insecurity back to Amudat. So the population of Amudat has increased just because of the new government we have today.
President Museveni was received by senior NRM leaders, ministers and officials from Amudat district, all of whom are optimistic about a victory for NRM.
And in every district we have gone to, we have this crowd, and it's a constant. We are not like other people who carry their supporters in every place they go to. For us, we find ours in each and every district, and that is how we have been operating, and we shall use that up to the end of the campaign. And during voting, definitely we should have another approach we are going to use to make sure that we whip everybody in the villages to come and vote.
I believe this time round we must achieve 70%, 70 and above. That is our aim. Because not because we are seeing this through just the rallies that we have been seeing, but because of the responses we are getting from the people.
When you look at the percentage of President Museveni, Karamoja, Western Nile, and Lango, and Achori, we are in 85 to 90. So why do we fight with someone who's already failed? If Nanibe Diabakama has a good faith, you could not even waste time for other candidates. Let him win, announce declare the winner.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Amudat.
Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni joined thousands of Christians at St. Jude Thaddeus Church, Nakuru, to mark the 71st National Day of St. Jude Thaddeus, the patron of desperate and lost causes. The main celebrant was Bishop Mark Kadima Wamkoya from Kenya, accompanied by Kenyan pilgrims.
Thousands of Christians from across the country gathered for the national celebration of St. Jude's Feast Day, which also marked 71 years since the devotion to St. Jude Thaddeus was first introduced in Uganda. The colorful event attracted religious leaders, political leaders, and over 1,000 pilgrims from the Diocese of Bungoma in western Kenya. The celebrations began with the Holy Mass, led by Right Reverend Father Mark Kadima Wamkoya, Bishop of Bungoma Diocese. In his sermon, Bishop Kadima encouraged Christians to pray through St. Jude, the patron saint of desperate and lost causes, urging them to strengthen their faith through prayer and perseverance.
If you are desperate the way I am, that there are certain things which you need and cannot be fulfilled, you need St. Jude Tadeo. The first thing you do is what Jesus did. He was God, but he sought the help of men, the help of others, the help of companions, the help of friends. He built a team.
In his address, President Museveni commended believers for their unwavering faith in God and emphasized the importance of unity and compassion among Ugandans.
And even another portion of the Bible, it says, we were created in the image of God. All of us, each one of us is a small God. So when you don't like me, you are really resisting God. Because I'm the image of God, if you don't like me, I'm very sorry for you.
He further encouraged the congregation to take advantage of government initiatives such as PDM and Emyoga, noting that these programs are designed to uplift communities from poverty and empower households economically.
The value addition of Christianity to our heritage, to our clans, our tribes. As you should know, these tribes are very strong, very deep in wealth creation, crops, agriculture, fisheries, skills in yoga, which we have now introduced you. In yoga means specializations. That's why the Europeans were surprised when they came here. They were very surprised about the level of production.
Several political leaders attended the event, including State Minister for Lands Judith Nabakova and Margaret Nantongoziwa, who highlighted the importance of celebrating St. Jude's Feast Day.
He has been so helpful that he touches the vulnerable. And St. Jude always considers the desperate, the vulnerable. So we are so grateful that Musei has managed to come.
We have really grown spiritually. And we came here so heavy laden, and we want to believe that people are leaving this place blessed, especially the message from the leading bishop.
The day was marked by joyful praise, traditional performances, reflecting the deep devotion Catholics hold for St. Jude Thaddeus. Rebecca Nantongo, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News.
The National Unity Platform NUP President and Presidential Flag Bearer Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has campaigned in Alebtong and Otuke districts in Lango sub-region to seek support ahead of the 2026 general elections. In his message, Kyagulanyi promised to build modern roads, improve social services and promote development for all Ugandans once elected president.
But the first step we must take is to unite and reconcile and start seeing each other as brothers and sisters. In 1962, Ugandans came together from all regions, and that is how we were able to get independence. We must do the same. You have seen us on the news working together with my brother Akena and discussing the future of Uganda. But that is not enough. Even you people, you must unite so that you make us believe that our brotherhood and friendship is not a lie, but destined to unite our people. For my tribe or for the region, but for all of us as a generation, a new Uganda not defined by tribe, not defined by religion, but defined by the dreams that we have for a new united Uganda. So when you vote for Bobi Wine, you are voting for national unity, you're voting for brotherhood, you're voting for reconciliation, you are voting for peace. When you vote for Bobi Wine, you're voting for better schools for your children, you're voting for better payment for the teachers, better payment for the doctors and nurses, and better payment for soldiers and police officers. When is coming to a place they don't arrest people.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robin Nabbanja, has resolved the standoff between landlords and tenants in Kampala's central business district following President Museveni's directive to allow traders resume normal business. The emergency meeting at the office of the Prime Minister agreed that tenants will continue paying rent at current approved rates until the 2026-2027 financial year.
Landlords Godfrey Chirumira and Tom Chitandwe pledged to maintain dialogue with tenants to avoid future clashes.
Owekitiibwa President yankubidde ku simu n'alagira amangu ddala mbagirawo tukole olukiiko luno tulabe butya bwe tuteeka ebifo byaffe wamu kulaba abasuubuzi baffe bafuna emirembe. And so nabayise mu kaseera katono naye lw'ekiragiro ky'omukulu w'eggwanga njagala okubasiima olw'okujja on short notice. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Nafuna petitioni y'abasuubuzi nga 6 Ogw'omwenda omwaka guno era nga balina ensonga zaabwe ezikwata egaliraaya kuba landlord, egazaland, Grand Corner, Arcades gye bakolera emirimu gyabwe.
Minister for Kampala Minsa Kabanda and Mayor Salim Uhuru hailed the meeting as successful.
We have tasked them that they should work with the landlords because they all need each other. So I think that problem has been solved, and another problem was about the law enforcement officers who are just picking this for anyhow. This time we have given a Sunday market to the vendors. So beginning next week, I think we're going to sit with security, we are going to sit with KCCA, and they are going to start working on Sundays. So that means every Sundays they have to be on duty.
The resolutions, number one, is the rent should not be increased as per now. That is a distinction. The electricity tariff should remain as it was and as is. That is another win. Then the landlords will be issuing official IFRI's receipts, whereby you pay your money and you actually see what you're paying for.
Trader representatives John Kabanda and Edward Ntale thanked the government for its swift response.
Abantu bano twogedde ku lisiti ze batasaako ssente. Naye n'okugigaba obugabi tebagigaba. Ogendera mukyala Nabukeera Christine ku kizimbe kya Nana Center, edduuka D21 lyali eryange. N'akugamba nti mpa ssente n'omu miliyoni 3.5. N'otambula n'ogenda kwogeza n'osaba lisiiti nga gamba omwezi ogujja edduuka lyange ndyagala. Bwe mba nnimba omujulizi wange agenda kubeera chairman wa Bugagga kwagalana.
We are going to enter into a tenancy relationship with the landlord where the rent is above the equivalent of 400,000 shillings. It must be in writing. But what we hear from here is that they actually don't get these written agreements.
Kubawade bakayana naye tukyatudde nabo ffe moto yaffe egamba teryazanyira kumupangisa.
A subcommittee chaired by KCCA's Benon Chigenyi was formed to oversee implementation and address pending issues like electricity payments, with a progress report expected by 11th November 2025.
President Yoweri Museveni has appointed Lionel Anguzu the new Director of Public Prosecutions. Anguzu, who has been serving as Assistant DPP, replaces Justice Jane Francis Abodo, who was recently appointed Principal Judge. A communication from the Senior Presidential Press Secretary Sandor Walusimbi, the President has forwarded Anguzu's name to Parliament's Appointments Committee for vetting and approval. Once approved, Anguzu will assume leadership of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, the body mandated to direct, control and supervise criminal prosecutions on behalf of the state. Now, the Secretary to the Inspectorate of Government, Rose Kaferu, has revealed that public procurement, despite being the largest budget area, faces the most challenges. Sudat Kaye reports.
Speaking at a regional workshop in Kampala on fast-tracking the United Nations Convention against Corruption and strengthening integrity systems in East Africa, Kaferu noted that 30% of public procurement is affected by corruption.
We have a syndicate because the corrupt also have a syndicate. So in Uganda we also formed a syndicate with the PPDA, the Office of the Auditor General, and ourselves, so that we are able to fight corruption, not only in the procurement area, but also in all the other areas.
She emphasized turning discussions into actionable reforms and collaborating to develop performance indicators that drive development.
Then we have electronic government procurement, that's the EGP. The EGP system is a government procurement system that is currently implemented in 36 MDAs and currently is undergoing enhancement to improve service delivery. The system has increased efficiency by reducing lead times and most of the processes handled, taking shorter cycles, as compared to the manual procurement processes. With the online access, the various players in the procurement cycle are able to access and action all their tasks at their convenience and reduce delays this has reduced delays by about 20% in the public procurement and disposal of public assets in public procurement process, leading to an enhanced and timely service delivery to the public.
Moses Ojambo from PPDA also highlighted key points to improve transparency and accountability in procurement.
These investigations have unearthed public procurement-related corruption in entities, and corrective action has been undertaken on the projects to enhance service delivery for the citizens. It's really very critical, and when reports come out, find that action is taken, though sometimes it's actually reactive. And at the end of the day, of course, the culprits will be taken on. Then the other issue is suspension of providers. That's another strategy. The authority suspends providers in accordance with Section 128 of the PPDA Act for the breach of provisions in relation to uttering false documents, fraudulent practices, poor contract execution, among others.
Sudat Kai, UBC News.
With the 2026 general elections approaching, aspiring members of parliament are taking positions across Uganda. In Kampala, the race seems hot, with several candidates contesting for the Rubaga South parliamentary seat.
Yemuga Adam Shifty, itekateka zonna eziri wano yazirimu. Ye byonna ye mwenye ye honorable ye MP gwe tulonda akola ki? Addako.
Independent candidate Adam Swift Muga is among those vying to represent the constituency.
Wano lwa muntu mulala yenna. Ndi wano lwa maanyi g'abantu b'e Rubaga.
Speaking during stop in Kabusu, Muga pledged to bring positive change to Rubaga South if elected. Muga urged residents to focus on candidates who can deliver tangible results and address the pressing needs of the community.
Nkoze butawera okulaba nga nerekereza akasente nkiterewo bannalubaga era mbalayirire eddambe lyange naliwandiika ddanga ngamba ekifo kya wano kya bannalubaga. N'olw'ensonga eyo okwerekereza kuno kwonna kulwana kugatta ttafaali ku nyaffe Uganda.
As campaigning continues, voters in Rubaga South are expected to carefully evaluate their options ahead of the 2026 polls to elect leaders who can drive meaningful development.
Baganda bange tiwabawo muntu ababuzaabuza ku luutu eno. Mwetegerere.
Politics aside, let's turn to other news stories now. And Ugandans have been urged to promote peace and unity for the country's sustainable development. The call was made by Mariam Wangadia, chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, during the opening of the Human Rights Expo at Makerere University College of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Wangadia emphasized that peace and stability are key pillars for national development.
To enjoy human rights to the fullest, mindful of the rights and freedoms of others. My message to Ugandans is to understand that group rights are as important as individual rights and freedoms. By group rights, I'm talking about the right to peace, the right to security, the right to a clean and healthy environment. Those are group rights. They are as important as any other right, and that it is the responsibility of every Ugandan to observe those rights.
Dr. James Paya Sentongo, senior lecturer at Makerere University, encouraged citizens to protect their rights and freedoms, particularly during the election period.
That everyone should do what they can to respect and promote human rights, not only of those that are close to them or that they are in charge of, but even those that might not be able to speak for themselves, those that for one reason or the other might be at the periphery, at the margins. It's our responsibility to make the world a better place for everyone.
Dr. Dixon Kanakubye, head of the philosophy department, called on public officials to uphold ethics in the workplace as a means of promoting human rights.
Ethical way. So if the government and other organizations put emphasis on ethics, for example, in hospitals, in schools, how to use resources responsibly, it promotes actually the well-being of human beings, which is actually the purpose of human rights. So the two are connected.
We expect all elections to be as they are now. It will be peaceful, everybody to be allowed to speak, everybody to be allowed to attend all those campaign rallies, because that is the normal course of action, that is what is expected.
Call upon the government of Uganda under the Human Rights Commission to promote and protect cultural rights as a vital of human rights.
The theme was human rights as tools for good governance, economic transformation and inclusivity.
Islamic University in Uganda, IU, has taken a step to ensure that every voice is heard and understood. At its Kampala campus, IU officially launched a translation and interpretation unit, a program designed to turn language into a bridge.
The launch under theme Building Languages, Connecting Cultures promotes cultural dignity, inclusivity, and people-centered development. The event also highlights language in promoting equity and understanding across communities.
Mark the beginning of a transformative journey for our university, for the Ugandan society, and beyond.
The acting principal judge, Justice Okoujin Kajuga, described the launch as a milestone in Uganda's journey towards people-centered justice. She was represented by the Registrar of High Court, Her Worship Prosper Tushave.
The challenges of having over 40 languages is going to be partly solved. Only be done, but must be seen to be done and understood. That includes ensuring that the person understands what is going on in court. When people speak different languages or dialects and familiar to others, becomes a pillar of justice, a safeguard of rights, and a voice for the voiceless.
The Director of Islamic University in Uganda, Kampala campus, Ahmed Twaha Kasule, says the initiative is a step towards healing a society which is divided by language barriers.
The infrastructure, academic resources, and institutional backing needed to ensure its success. We also invite all stakeholders to collaborate and support the new translation unit, which is a positive addition to our Center for Language. That language is not just a tool, it is a right, a bridge, and a connector of cultures.
The keynote speaker, Ahmed Katelega, also Director of Education at Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, says language plays a central role in justice, education, and economic growth.
Language builds unity and social cohesion. Language is a culture. When people see their language represented, no opportunities expanded. Our translation services obviously is not just a resource.
The launch is important in Uganda's inclusion story, where a new generation of legislators and interpreters are trained to bridge the communication gap.
Let us interpret not just words, but the needs of our people. To our students and young professionals, this is your moment. The translation unit will be a space for learning, innovation, and service.
Through this initiative, Uganda Islamic University in Uganda and the judiciary are promoting more inclusive Uganda. Susan Inabugude for UBC News.
The Indian community in Uganda has been urged to preserve and celebrate their cultural heritage through prayer and traditional food. The call came during special prayers to the sun held in Kampala. The Indian community gathered in Kampala to mark Chhath Puja, a festival dedicated to the worship of the sun, believed to be the source of energy and life. Sina Kumar Santosh from the Indian High Commission in Uganda encouraged participants to hold firmly to their traditions even while living abroad.
It started from our Lord Rama, his wife Mata Sita. She is the one who started this prayer after coming from Ayodhya. So first we have a Diwali and after 6 days we celebrate this prayer as a Chhath Puja. This is a 4-day prayer. First day we do Nahai Khai, second day we do Kharna, third day we do sunset prayer, and fourth day it's a sunrise prayer, which is tomorrow morning we are going to do. So today what we did is a sunset prayer, and we just pray Lord's Sun that give us health, wealth and prosperity. Not only us, for everyone, because sun is not for us, it's for everyone, it's a nature.
This is a prayer for sun. When the sun is setting, they pray, and always, as we know, any person's life, someone who rises has to set any time, and someone who is set like a sun, he has to rise. So this is the life teaching lesson by honoring the sun, by praying the sun. And I request that all those who are not from UP and Bihar state, for other states, anybody who is in India should learn and to details about Chhath Puja and understand the prayers and importance of Chhath Puja.
News Tonight will now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
Ugandans, the unstoppable internet deal of deals is here with MTN WakaNet Fiber. Connect your home with our starter pack of 100 Mbps at only 99k. And if you want more speed for less, we've got you. Get the 200 Mbps at only 129k. And the fastest one yet? Enjoy up to 500 Mbps at only 250k. To sign up, use the My MTN app or dial *100 *23#. Offer is valid till the 30th of November for both new and existing subscribers. Together, our connection is unstoppable.
Nateranga nyingiro na banafa ba MTN wanje MTN walololo MTN gamachi to get the power to win njagalo fune lyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ocha ngenda kubanga bukade 10 buli wiki wanje ngenda kubanga kwasa bukade 10 buli wiki kusimu yeye nyinyi chabonka chimuchoka line ya MTN wanabeka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ndakwese momo obulira buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo ozo kwanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abwe MTN we jamani nekwa bukade 10 buli wiki wala kastejo bimala bwe pala wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntode nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasana benesi okuberanga mwana wote koze ebyo no amanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, Uganda Women's Cancer Support Organization needs funding to construct a rehabilitation and skilling center known as the Home of Hope to support women battling and surviving cancer. Speaking during a press conference to mark International Breast Cancer Awareness Month, leaders said the facility will empower survivors through rehabilitation and livelihood programs. We have more in this story.
Cancer is a significant health challenge in Uganda, still affecting women in mid-adulthood.
Cancer is not communicable. We have to emphasize that. It is one of the non-communicable diseases. Therefore, you can't get cancer from wearing or the cloth of somebody who had cancer. No. Or even some people are avoiding cancer patients. They don't want to touch them or to be near them. No. You can't catch cancer by being near a cancer patient.
You do exercises. You improve your diet, high in fruits and vegetables.
Beka Mayanja and Mase Oikereze Tayebwa urged Ugandans to support the fundraising campaign and go for regular checkups for early detection.
You need to reduce in your lifestyle eating a lot of fried stuff.
Physical exercise is one of them and the easiest, because where you cannot walk, you can do physical exercises wherever you are, so that you prevent your risk of getting breast cancer.
Do routine checkups in hospitals, like for the men, the prostate. Women, we're supposed to do the cervical cancer checkups at least after every 3 years. So if anything is amiss on your body, it can be the skin changing color, so somebody has to go to hospital.
A fundraising dance workout is planned, while contributions toward the project are already underway.
Among the activities at the dance workout event are free breast cancer screening, awareness talks, how to get involved. You purchase a kit at 30,000 shillings. You can donate. Contributions can be made directed to the campaign. You can sponsor. Business and organization can partner with Okwaso to sponsor the event.
Women who don't breastfeed have a higher risk. So now if you have a child, you breastfeed as exclusively breastfeed.
The nipples are supposed to be out. If you see the nipples retracting inside, then that's a cause for alarm.
Other behaviors like smoking, like alcohol, those are some of the things that you need to avoid.
I'm Ivan Juko and Deborah Namamundi for UBC.
Mulago National Referral Hospital, in partnership with Rotary Club of Kololo, have offered to help a young girl, one Nabakoza Beatrice, who suffered severe burns and was left with life-deforming scars. Now, Nabakoza is to receive surgery. The Rotary Club of Kololo, where the executive director of Mulago Hospital also serves, picked interest in the case. Beatrice will now receive reconstructive surgery at Mulago National Referral Hospital.
Linfumba amatago ku sigiri olumbe ne lujja ne kimbika ku maaso ne lunkuba mu matago nga ngajjako n'enzija zaali saawa nga 10 ez'ekawungeezi.
And she had gone through a lot of medical treatments, but from local small clinics where they gave her some treatment, but she didn't go better. She didn't get any better.
She posted a picture to me, and I posted it to Rotary Forum, and the Rotary Forum was Rotary Club of Kololo was willing to help. So we arranged and told the SMEI who brought the lady to the club, and they told us the story of how she got burnt with milk, and as Rotary we decided to help her.
This is a partnership because Mulago is going to do the operation. We will only facilitate on things which they don't have. So they will give us the cost of those things if they are there. They will be the ones that we will pay, and maybe if she's operated and she's admitted, we'll be supporting her in terms of the care. In the case of such a plastic surgery, we have not done it, but we have helped so many children who have taken to even India to be supported with different conditions.
Today we have received a patient, Nabakoza, who suffered burns to her face and neck. She's here for help, and we have received her today with the help of Rotary Club Kololo. We have looked at her and we think we can reconstruct her. We're able to reconstruct her using her own tissues, and we hope that we shall be able to restore her form and function of the neck, hopefully with the procedures that we usually do for other patients.
Very good news coming through there for that lady, Nabakoza. Now, Favors Foundation Ministries, under the leadership of Pastor Favor Timothy, has organized a 3-day medical camp at Zana along Entebbe Road. The outreach aims at supporting the needy and the sick through free eye treatment, medication and consultation services. Pastor Favor Timothy has also organized an evangelical conference titled From Glory to Glory. The conference seeks to uplift the community spiritually and physically. The event will feature powerful speakers from Ghana, Kenya and Rwanda.
For our pillar and the principle is to help the community. So that is why we organize this event, and we bring the people surround Zana, people from Segugu, people from Kajansi, people from Freedom City, those surround the area of Zana. We want to help those people. And as you have seen, many people came and they couldn't afford the treatment of their eyes. And when we were starting also, there is a counseling to tell the people how they have to take care of their eyes, because it's very important. Eye is very, very important. What we have in the Favor Foundation Ministry, we show the love to the people. If you find how the people, they came here, they cannot read, they got the free glasses, they get the treatment. You know, the people, they suffered and they didn't get opportunity to be tested. So that is the love. You cannot love God you didn't see with your eyes without loving your neighbor. So God loves us, and He has given that love so that we can love our neighbors. So we have many activities we are planning. Last year we did activities. We helped the people in Namugongo. We have given 25 wheelchairs to the people who live with disability. So it is my calling to help the community, to show the love of God, and also to help, because our government needs the church also to support. This conference specifically, when we start on Thursday, it will be the word of God, preaching the people. But on Friday, we'll be here in the church from morning till evening, training pastors training ministers, the word of God, how they can handle ministry, leadership skills. We have prepared a full package.
Business news now, and SACCOs and enterprises supported by Uganda's Microfinance Support Center are beginning to attract the attention of other nations on the African continent. The Presidential Initiative on Wealth and Job Creation, popularly known as EMIOGA, launched in August 2019, has attracted discussion, as we hear in this story.
The Microfinance Support Center hosted a delegation of 9 officials from the Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives of the Kingdom of Lesotho, led by the Commissioner of Cooperatives and Chairman of the Cooperative Development Fund, CDF. The delegation toured select EMIOGA SACCOs across Kampala to gain first-hand insights into the program's operational model and remarkable successes experienced by beneficiaries.
Over 7,000 SACCOs have been formed under this program of the Presidential Initiative on Job and Wealth Creation.
By putting in this money, you create confidence in the SACCOs, and then the SACCOs begin to save. Now, as they begin to save, the banks, these other funders, they get attracted because you have created the confidence in the SACCOs. That's the way the model is intended to work.
There are some which are engaged in coffee production, others are in cosmetics. We have SACCOs of beneficiaries engaged in crafts, detergents, fabrics, maize milling and packaging, and also in winery.
The members who came in first, our pioneers, served with us, bought the shares and paid the membership. That's where we began growing from. We have realized a lot, we have learned a lot, because there are so many cooperatives here in Uganda which are well advanced, and we have learned how they handle their money, we have learned how they cooperate, we have learned the structures, and we have learned how we can copy what they have done and take what we have learned back to Lesotho.
We have seen the border. We have seen the women entrepreneurship, those also who are having a bakery, they are having yummy food, they are doing marvelous work.
We got at first 30 million in 2022, then in 2024 they added us more 20 million, which made a total of 50 million.
For us, we advocate for self-financing. Yes, the government can come about like it is coming now, supporting them with the capacity building, but we are not issuing cash, liquid assistance to them.
We are very, very grateful to have them as a model SACCO.
With us in Lesotho, at night we are asleep. Here in Uganda, you hear people are busy going up and down, doing business. I can see that with this attitude here and the practice, we can learn a lot further than coming to benchmark on the financing of corporate. But the way of life here, the people are busy. No business of sleeping here.
Through programs like EMIOGA, Uganda is not only changing households' incomes, but inspiring nations beyond the African continent. From Microfinance Support Center, the message remains: empower the people, and the people will build the nation. UBC, Chris Buyondo.
Uganda inspiring other nations there. Now, MTN Uganda has launched the third phase of its Change Makers initiative, committing 500 million shillings to fund 25 community-based projects that are transforming lives across the country. John Barnes Sentamo gives us more.
The program implemented through the MTN Foundation focuses on key areas of education, health, water, environment, and economic empowerment.
The results were proof that when people are empowered, they become unstoppable forces for transformation.
What we're talking about today is more into transforming lives, a real transformation for lives. As we celebrate these achievements and we recognize the journey and what we've been doing so far, we understand that this journey is far from over, right? I think we all agree. This is why today we launched Phase 3. Phase 3 of the MTN Change Makers campaign, because the work of building communities will never stop. And it grows stronger with every new idea, every new partnership, and every new change maker that rises to make a difference. In the third phase, we will support another 25 change makers, just to assure you, we'll go through the same journey from across Uganda, east, west, north, south, greater central and Kampala. The MTN Foundation has committed again that we will give 500 million Ugandan shillings for this project to fund projects that will improve lives and drive impact in areas. Again, the areas that we'll focus on will be education, health, water, environment, and economic empowerment.
It targets uplifting communities by supporting innovative local solutions to everyday challenges.
The MTN Changemaker grants has enabled our school to provide 40 desks, which has provided seats for 80 students in our school. We are so grateful for the partnership with MTN Foundation through the MTN Changemaker initiative for partnering with us in this journey of providing inclusive education in Uganda.
The initiative has so far supported 50 projects, benefiting over 165,000 Ugandans through education programs, clean water access, and youth-led environmental projects.
We've received overwhelming 2,400 applications from every corner across Uganda. Our regional teams, thanks to them, they've visited 84 community projects. 84 community projects to ensure that we're doing the right selections, meeting hundreds of men and women whose work continues to shape the lives of others. We've selected 25 outstanding change makers who went to implement such inspiring projects that we've heard about today.
It empowers communities to enhance livelihoods.
Nakawa leaders are urging residents to embrace government programs for social and economic development, emphasizing financial discipline and literacy.
Nakawa leaders urge residents to use PDM and EMOGA programs.
The PDM circles that do exist in all these parishes, that His Excellency the President in his new manifesto that he launched at Munyonyo has intentions of increasing the PDM from 100 to 300 million per parish in Kampala.
Ebimu ku bugenderevu bw'okuteeka ssente mu nsawo kufuna bukulembeze obusobola okukulembera embeera gy'olimu.
They advised citizens to use the funds wisely and encourage the culture of saving to ensure long-term financial stability.
Okutate kukola ki? Buli afuna ssente ya PDM kikozese ekyo kikuviiremu ebibala ebiki.
Zino ze tuweereza ku muluka ssente za kukulaakulanya muluka tezigenda kuddayo nate mu gavumenti. Zino ssente za kulaakulanya muluka. Teri muntu yenna akugamba nti ssente zino zigenda kuvaawo ate zidde mu kimu ggwanika lya gavumenti. Zino ssente zammwe.
Residents called on President Kaguta Museveni to increase PDM funding for more impactful utilization.
Mwavu nnyo nga wowulira mirimu yaggwayo naye ku ssente miliyoni emu eyo nina kyenfunyeemu at least nkozemu ebintu by'amaanyi nimyeko nimiro yange akatono.
The outreach reflects ongoing efforts by NRM representatives nationwide to engage communities and promote the government's development programs ahead of the upcoming elections.
This has been a successful meeting. I'm happy that the members have affirmed their support to His Excellency the President, and I don't have any shadow of doubt that we shall perform exceedingly well in the forthcoming general elections.
Basumba protecting my gains, teaching protecting. Naye ebintu by'ebyembanyonyodde n'ebisingako nawe by'omanyi bennyini bw'oyinza okuba tobyogedde. Kati ekiseera okola otya?
Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
International news now, and we go to neighboring Tanzania, where Tanzanians will go to the polls tomorrow, October 29th, 2025. Leaders have called for unity and peace, urging citizens to exercise their democratic right responsibly. Across cities like Bagamoyo, a city with dark colonial history of slavery, community groups joined the appeal, encouraging peaceful participation and vigilance against misinformation as the nation prepares to choose its next president.
Bagamoyo is a historic town that carries the pride of the coast, a place that holds memories of the past, some glorious, others painful. Once the main hub for the slave trade, in the 19th century, this town stands as a living reminder of both endurance and transformation. Along the shores of the Indian Ocean, as the sea breeze sweeps across the town, we meet today's heroes, ordinary men and women shaping their future through small businesses and daily work. First, they told me about how peace and stability in the country has allowed them to go about their lives and earn a living.
We are grateful for the peace and stability we enjoy here in Pwani. It allows me to run my business peacefully and take care of my children. Peace is the foundation for economic growth. Where there is peace, the economy thrives.
Without peace, we cannot do anything. The good life we have today is because of peace.
Living in peace is a blessing because in some countries, people can't even run their businesses due to instability.
Regarding this year's general elections, they say they have listened carefully to the policies of different candidates and they are ready to make their choices on the 29th of October.
We will go out and vote to elect the leader of our choice because we have listened carefully to all their policies from start to finish. We should accept whichever leaders will be elected, from councillors, member of parliament, all the way to the president. Everyone should go out and vote, then return home peaceful and wait for the results.
Their message to all Tanzanians is clear: to never take peace for granted.
We have come from a peaceful background, so no one should mislead us or influence us to destroy our peace. We understand the motives behind such people. I don't believe there is anyone who will dare to disturb the peace and the unity of Tanzania.
Elsewhere, people are struggling, but here in Tanzania, we live in peace. We must understand that it is up to us Tanzanians to protect this peace, and if it is ever broken, it will be our own doing.
Our next president should continue to preserve the peace that was built by the father of the nation. Let us avoid conflicts and ignore misleading messages and online propaganda that could disrupt our peace. Once you have voted for your leader, respect the results.
Voices from the coast of history, reminding the nation that true freedom is not only spoken, it is lived through action, and that is voting on the 29th of October. This is Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
Sports news now, and St. Mary's College Kisubi SMAC League returned to action at the International University of East Africa Sports Ground in Kansanga, with match day 3 a mix of football, charity and carnival.
The SMAC League has hosted match day 3 of the season with energy, color and purpose. In partnership with the Kuliva Foundation, players and fans donated clothes to the vulnerable communities, blending football with social impact.
There's a lot of activity going around. Obviously, we have our vendors, different foodstuffs and all. Local Key is here, is one of our sponsors as well. We also have Zimbali, we have Motomoto, we are catering with Zora Water, we have Snap Juice around. Of course, our big partners, Guinness. So there's a lot of activity going on. There's a bouncing castle for the kids. When people come here, most of them are parents, so they come here with their kids and they leave them with a bouncing castle. They have fun together. You know, it's a family event.
On the pitch, Pirates maintained their perfect run with a narrow 1-0 win over Phantoms. Gladiators, Bushmen, Knights and Zimbas also secured key victories.
Been a lot of exciting games, derbies, big games. We've seen some already being played. Some goals are being scored in most of them. As we know, this season, just like last season, there are 2 pools. This time they're divided by age, so there's a lot more derbies. People who live up derbies from school, Form 1, Form 2, even Form 5, Form 6. Those relationships are now being brought out even more now.
Other winners were vendors, outcasts, lichens, block owners and elites. Despite a brief rain interruption, the competition remained fierce, with goals and celebrations across all matches. Off the field, fans embraced the carnival theme, dressed in floral shirts, dancing to music from DJ LB and DJ Ashaba, enjoying esports and boxing challenges. The SMAC League returns on 9th November for match day 4.
And that story brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
With the growth in GDP that we are looking at, it also means that our foreign direct inflows have to go higher. But remember, the National Development Plan 4 is also starting at this point when we're starting off the tenfold growth strategy conversation. And it's anchored on quite a number of issues, but broken down into what simply one would call the ATMs. We're not talking about the money machines, but agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral beneficiation, and of course taking on science, technology, and innovation in this age of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and also the fourth industrial revolution. I am glad to be joined by a panel of experts that today is not going to talk, you know, the big English words, per capita income, purchasing parity. No, we are breaking it down to let the Ugandan understand where we are today. Where are the opportunities for the Ugandans? Is this dream able to be realized as Uganda moves into the higher middle income status? And today's conversation will be around advancing trade and industrialization growth for Uganda's transformation. This is Spotlight UG. And without any further ado, my name is Mildred Tohaise. I'll be taking you on for today's series. Allow me explore the candidates and panelists we have on the Spotlight today.
Dr. Patrick Birungi holds a PhD in economics from the University of Pretoria, an economist with excellent experience in programs and project management, currently working as the Executive Director of Uganda Development Corporation. Held the position Director of Development Planning at the National Planning Authority in Uganda for 8 years. A former board member of the PPP Committee of Government and sits on the board of a number of institutions. Previously worked as a senior national economist at UNDP, Uganda Country Office, gaining a lot of experience in supervision of Government of Uganda, UN programs and projects. Patrick spent most of his working career in the academia as a senior lecturer in economics at Makerere University for 15 years. He has also consulted widely for international, national national and government institutions, including but not limited to World Bank, UN institutions, IDRG, AERC, NGOs, government, among many others. As a Director of Planning at the National Planning Authority, he was in charge of production of long and medium-term plans, including the National Vision 2040 and the National Development Plan 2. He is also an author and is widely published in internationally referred journals, served on several international and national levels, steering committees and boards of different institutions.
Definitely a huge CV, but the English will definitely be broken down. Allow me